So in my latest video I showed what was on my Analog Four Mk2. Basically a bunch of 4-bar loops. Pretty cool, I think, but it was still just ideas. So in today's video we are taking a look at what's on my Analog Four Mk2, and it's more than just a 4-bar loop. So let's head back to the studio and check it out.
Alright, I think you got it.
So in the latest video I talked about the fact that for many hobbyists, finishing your music, finishing a track or a song is not the end goal. So I got a lot of great feedback in the last video, so I want to touch on a few things. So some people talked about how they made music purely for the joy of it and didn't really value the end result that much. And others told me about their struggles to actually finishing their music because it's a goal of theirs and they're struggling. So one comment in particular stuck with me, and it was about finding a context to release your music into. How it can be very demotivating to finish something when you don't have anywhere to release it and you don't really have any feedback on what you released. So you put a lot of effort into finishing something and then it goes out online. It's just... Now, finding a context for your music is hard for anybody. It's never easy, I'd say. And this can easily become a vicious cycle where you want to finish your music, but there's a lack of context. So when you finish something and you get no response, you feel demotivated and you don't really feel like finishing anything else. These are topics that are very complicated and I don't really have an answer to them. But what I can tell you is that if you're not ready to devote the time and energy needed to create that context for your music, it will be very hard. And this is what I mean when I say that there are good reasons why people don't finish things. In part it could be because you're just enjoying jamming or just enjoying music for music's own sake and you don't really want to finish a song. But it could also be that this context is lacking and that it's extremely difficult for pretty much anybody to do it, let alone a hobbyist to just do it part-time after work. So since the topic of finishing your music is such a big topic, I'm working on a dedicated video where I will give you guys a lot of different advice, some tips and tricks, some practical advice, some more theoretical reasoning. But since there is so much to say on the topic, I think your input is very valuable. So leave a comment telling us what you're struggling with when it comes to finishing your music. Where are the pitfalls? Where do you get stuck? And also try and give us your advice, your strategies, the skills you develop, the tips and tricks that you use to actually getting stuff done. And I'll be sure to look at it and see what I can include in the finished video. And I think there's a lot of people that will want to hear your opinion on this, so be sure to leave a comment. And while we're on the topic of finishing your music, I just want to give a little piece of advice for finishing your music on an Electron device or hardware sequencer. So what I do is I try and move away from just one 4-bar loop very quickly. So I'll copy over a pattern to other slots very quickly, very rapidly, in order to create, say, 4 or 8 patterns to work from. And this strategy sort of gives me space to work. This is something I have more naturally inside of a DAW, like Cubase for example, but using hardware sequencers I have to create it. I work while it's hot, I copy over patterns, I make changes pretty rapidly to them, and suddenly I have not just one loop, which is cool, but maybe 8 loops that are different from each other, that can represent different parts of a song, and it gives me sort of an idea if I want to continue working on this song or not, because I think that's very important, getting to a point where you can see if this holds up for a song or if it's just a cool loop that you might want to revisit sometime in the future. So be sure to leave a comment with your struggles in finishing your music. What are the pitfalls? Where are you getting stuck? But also, let us know about strategies, tips and tricks that has worked for you in order to get something done. And I'll be sure to look at that for the future video, and I'm sure that there are others who are very interested to know about it, because it's a topic that is dear to our hearts, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you did, and subscribe if you want more videos about synths, music production and creativity in general, and I hope to see you in future videos. So thank you so much, have a great day.